So how do you think somebody can get started on sharing their ideas publicly, or just trying to get to show who they are as a person, as much as they ship and build things out?
Just start sharing. That's it. There is no uh, there is no recipe. It's all about one thing I would say is start really small. Like, if you
Hmm.
have an idea that you want to tinker about, start tweeting about that. If you have a newsletter that you want to, like, write about anything that's going in your mind, I feel people who really are good at journaling are really good at building in public,
Hmm.
if you think about it in a way, because someone who's having a habit of writing down what their day went, at the end of the day, for
Right.
example, they have the most, I would say, they're the most qualified to share or be an expert in this whole building public movement. So I think
Hmm.
it is about just sharing it. Start some small, really small, tweet once per day, for example,
Hmm.
about the journey you're going through. And I think you just have to experience it in a way. One thing you should eliminate is not having a goal for this strategy. That is really hard.
Hmm.
I think a lot many people start building in public with the goal. I have to get 100 users. I want to
Right.
make, $100 revenue, ARR, MRR, whatever it is. And I want to basically, you know, get some visibility, followers, and so on and so forth. If you eliminate that, there is no pressure for you. You basically will share everything that you do in public. And I think start doing that, you will see some small miracles happen. Like,
Hmm.
suddenly random people start give you advice or feedback. Suddenly you'll meet your co-founders. Suddenly
Hmm.
you'll launch. Suddenly you'll find. So I think you should leave your goals to serendipity, let it happen, which is really hard. So you just have to really truly believe in it. And in order to truly believe in it, you should experiment with it. So I would say the
Yeah.
biggest advice is just start.
There's also the little bit of fear initially, right? In terms of, but where does this go? And of course, I'm not like really fixating on the journey or the goal, but where does this go? And like, there's no traction. What's happening around me? There's this boggling questions that would come up. So, have you faced that when you initially started out, or how's that working
Oh,
out?
of course. We all have our self doubts, right? So it's part of the game. I think um, I think as a founder, one of the skills you need to develop is to manage your self doubt.
Hmm.
Not kill it. You can't kill it. You can't eliminate it. You can't bypass it. You have to manage it. So it's about how you shift your energy and focus on self doubt, from self doubt to
Right.
something that makes or helps you feel better, right? So
Hmm.
of course, I've had a million. I think it's always good to have community around. That's why you should have an audience for yourself, because
Right.
sometimes they will let you know, or they will remind you, hey, you're not, the person, you're doubting yourself. You're more than, who you are. So
Hmm.
having like an ecosystem around is really important. That's why I think every founder should actually have a personal brand for themselves. For
Very
this
true.
very reason, you're kind of putting a fence around yourself, so that
Hmm.
that's then the right way to do that is to help other people when they are in self doubt. Like, remind them, hey, much bigger than who you are, who you're thinking right now. So
Hmm.
you basically have to. You should have a giver mentality. That's when, like, people start giving you, right. Yeah. Hell yes. I think at times the way the things that work for me is to, like, take a step back again. Is this really going to define me? Ask certain questions like that. Is this particular thing that's bothering me is going to stop me, for example? Hell
Hmm.
no, right? Like, in that moment, you might feel like you're not moving forward,
Yeah.
you are also not moving backwards. You are staying where you are, which is way better than moving
Better.
backwards, right? So you just have to remind yourself, like, oh, okay, I'm not, you know, uh, I am better,
Hmm.
but I, I think I didn't work out. So you just basically like frame it in a way that helps you, right? I've framed myself like, in positions like that. Take Bluebee, like the
Hmm.
project where it's like, okay, maybe this will turn out low. So I think one of the things is have low expectations, and
Right.
the way you need to have low expectations is to have fun.
Hmm.
So there are a lot of ways one should, a founder should like really focus on. Again, try all these things, write journal. I practice gratitude journal every day. That reminds me, okay, at the end of the day,
Yeah,
oh,
that's a
okay.
good habit.
I think the other day, uh, there is this, football coach, college football coach, uh,
Hmm.
forgot his name, Deandre, uh, I forgot his name, Sanders, that's his last name.
Okay.
So he says he will never have a bad day.
Hmm.
He might have a bad moment or he might have a bad hour, but at the end of
Right.
the day, he's never going to allow other consequences control his feelings or emotions. That's really powerful to me. So I think you have to put
Yeah.
yourself in that position. And once you do that, uh, basically, like, your y- you nobody can actually impact you. So
Hmm.
yeah, if this things work out, you have self doubt, go back to that narrative. Like you have to build again. I think you have to build that narrative, uh, and follow it.